Designing a collection is our next topic. So these are the major considerations with your steps in designing a collection. Number one is research. Number two is theme board or mood board, inspiration board, illustration board, client board, fabric board, accessory board, flat sketch board or tech pack, trim and fabric board, muslin fits or toile, and then prototyping, actualizing the or execution of the garment, and then costing and presentation. So we will take up in detail each one of these as we go along. No? Uh, I'm sorry, costing is separate from presentation. So designing a collection is starts usually with the mood board, and most of the mood boards that we see around is overworked and is confusing. As you see here, what is the message? The message is that you don't know what the student designer is trying to put in here. So just put the collage of pictures that doesn't mean anything, which can be corrected as we go along in learning how to make a proper mood board. So you see, I put a check and an X for a good mood board. You see that X. So first is that it uses white space. No, let your image breathe. No, and just select few. We usually make at least 7, 9, 12 in odd numbers, and then you put some keywords like the word there, the title of the mood board is somewhere, and then three keywords: romantic, dreamy, and escape. On the other hand, the March mood board is confusing. So here you see the inspiration, where the color comes from: the sky, the flower, the interior. So this is the color palette. On the other hand, this one has no color palette. But if I uh, put in the philosophy behind the mood board, by which is the inspiration for my collection, I will be able to work on it better with the mood board on the right, especially that it has the color and it has the fabric itself here. The other one doesn't have. So here, immediately you know that you're to create something that's romantic, that's dreamy, that's more on an escape, going to the farm, going to the sea, in maybe silk, in very, very soft palette, and very, very relaxing. On the other hand, here is a conflicting idea of this muse, of this woman here, and this one, and this one, and this one. No? So it doesn't mean anything at all right. So please be able to decipher which a good mood board will be able to help you develop or design your collection, which we will go more into the elements or components of making a mood board. So number one is research. So there are various ways, no? And for me, sometimes I start with the interior design trends, because there are pieces of that I would pick up in terms of maybe combining particular material or fabric, so that you will be able to create direction. No? So there are mood boards, let's say for autumn winter 2023, which is already for next year, and we are already only in 2021, and you will be able to project, which is meaning you anticipate, you are going to forecast your research ahead of time, because of the time process by which it will take longer. All right. So what will be the significance of the face mask, for instance? Here you can see that it's as simple as matching a garment with a face mask, so that it add a little bit of premium, because face mask has become an essential in our garments, so that it makes it relevant as of today. Then you need a theme board, and you see how beautiful this presentation is. So I started actually looking for an interior. So I like the sage pale green, the sage green, the off-white, almost like nude color, and then the peach or the watermelon or the but very very pale. Then I look for something in this color palette, and I found this wedding in these pastel colors, and the two match together. So this is like lifestyle, and this is the fashion, and I like the overall feeling of the theme board, that looks like it's going to be in a farm, that it's more provincial, it's more charming, it's nothing more efforts, etc. And like, say the weddings of celebrities like Ann Curtis or Solen Yusuf and Isabel Daza, who are all my friends, are done in a manner that's it's so relaxed. Maybe in a farm, the bride makes her own bouquet, nothing so overdone. That's why it's fun, and very simple. Probably because they're celebrity, they make it simple, but there is simplicity in beauty. And you see, just putting in three colors. So in coloring, which we will take up in the next modules, you must use three colors: one medium, one dark, and one light. So light, medium, and dark colors, and an accent color, so that the collection will show up more. So medium, light, medium, and dark, and then an accent color. Let's say in this case, it's the natural wood. That's like the accent color on top of the three colors here. So when you look at the visual, it 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 jumps out. It makes it three-dimensional. Sometimes don't go beyond. No, for I would recommend is always add numbers 3, 5, 7, and a good designer knows how to stop. You have to stop somewhere, so that you make your presentation and the visual effect more cohesive and more under control. So next is your illustration board. Everything starts with visualizing what you want to do with a piece of paper or computer, and you illustrate. No, so gather your colors, your textures, your fabric, and illustrate properly what you want to do, because illustration is your visual map to where you are leading. No, so as a designer, you're forced to. No, you cannot become a designer without able to illustrate what's in your mind, because that illustration will be translated by your seamstresses, by your dressmakers. No, so as a professional designer, you are not rarely expected to stitch or to make everything, but rather with your team. Now, the next is your client board. Who is your client? No, what is the market level? What is the muse? No, for instance, here it's Madison Dawn. No, and maybe that person is more sophisticated. She likes to wear suit with something more fun. No, who is she? What is she? Where is she coming from? No, don't make a collection that you don't have a target market, like a muse. No, so for instance, we identify that particular man or woman. At what age? Is she mid-age, old age? So if mid-age, maybe she can still wear a mini skirt. No, if maybe she's already a senior, she will always be good, maybe in below the knee length. rather than mini skirt, no? So these are all considerations who you are going to dress up so that you will be able to design a collection in a sensible manner. So accessory board, you see there, you put in what your models need. I would only probably start with the shoes first, no? You look at the shoes of a person first, no? I'm like that person, no? I, especially with women, I like to look at the shoes. Are they elegant, simple, easy, and then the second that personally as a designer I would use for a runway is a beautiful neck earring, no? And that's it, no? If I have a beautiful necklace, then maybe just a necklace without the earring. But if my concept is more tribal, more ethnic, more really sumptuous, then I put everything there, including turbans, etc. So styling with your accessories is very crucial because it is equal to your garnishings when you serve food. No? It jumps out. The garment jumps out when you accessorize properly. The next is fabric board. This is my frustrations with student designers. They make their design without the fabric and the material in mind. No? So with interior designers, because which I do, like for interiors, we collect the materials. What is the carpet color? What is the curtain? What is the floor? What is the wall? In the same manner for fashion, no? What would be the main fabric? What would be the trimming? What would be the piping? How heavy, how light the fabric would be? So just across the board, no, reviewing the students' work, all of you will have the same fabric, which is back satin or taffeta, all the same. No, it doesn't change. No? If it does change, some would probably just not be able to deliver the proper fabric with that look, because how can you wear um, heavy 100% polyester for a summer streetwear with high cut boots in the Philippines? Or maybe in the desert. How can you do that for summer? It doesn't make sense, no? You don't analyze it properly, no? While people would like to wear short shorts and t-shirt for summer, here you are as a young student designer, your streetwear for summer is high cut boots all the way to the length, and you have all black leather. That doesn't, come on, no? The monkeys in the mountains are falling, and then you do something that is not sensible, because the heat will kill that person who wears your design. So, designing a collection would need a flat sketch board, which is taken in advanced courses in design, which I will teach you in the future, and then the tech pack, which is the bloodiest, the most difficult part when you do your production. This is basically for RTW when you make 3, 4, 5 pieces rather than haute couture. But still, even in haute couture, you need a tech pack. What kind of beads or stones or ribbons that you will use so that it will be according to your vision. So a flat sketch is just like a silhouette of the design that you are thinking in mind, so your seamstresses or your um, dressmakers will be able to visualize what's in your mind. All right. And then here's a example of tech pack where you see the detailing in terms of the technical drawings, which includes the inner lining, the silhouette, the placements, no, the sizes, the distances, the construction detail. The material, how you will be able to quilt, etc. That's why I say it's the bloodiest. No, it's not easy. It's very difficult. That's why some designers would really hire tech pack designers who are able to do this for them. So here's another one, which is like you see the directions, instructions, indications that tells you how to produce. Sometimes they call it the production ticket. because you cannot afford to repeat something that is wrong because you didn't put it correctly in the first place. That's why the tech pack would really assure that the design you have in mind is executed in the factory in a proper way. So here is a simple row with dimensions, the distances of parts or components, the shapes, the detail. No, for instance, here I put in there are several skirt lengths. No, so you tell your dressmaker, can you make a skirt? Say, okay, sir, I'll make a skirt. And then you go back to the dressmaker. No, 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 no. She needs a mini. But sir, you didn't tell me, no, that there are at least 8, 10 kinds of length. No, micro mini or mini above the knee, knee length below the knee, midi, T, maxi, and full skirt. Right? So just telling your dressmaker, make me a skirt without the specifications based on your tech pack will be confusing and frustrating. So, trim and fabric board also that would include. I will always put the trim beside the fabric so that it matches. No, when you match together, a dress or a gown will be very extremely beautiful, but can be ruined by trim. No, sometimes the bottom is not appropriate. If you have, like, let's say, ornate jacket and you put a cheap looking coconut or plastic buttons there, it can ruin the jacket. It depends, no, how you put that together, but make sure that you lay that out together. Here you can see in the picture, so that you put all of this component together and trim it, edit it. Oh, I don't like this, I like this, I throw this away, and leave it, put it beside your lace, etc., and match. But sometimes when you have the same trims for a collection, sometimes it doesn't work. The garments, they are look the same because you use only the same material. So somehow you also need to have variations. Next is the muslin fit, which is made of katsa or inexpensive materials. Sometimes I use Gina silk, but it's slippery. So katsa is the best. So when you do the muslin fit, no, it becomes really less problematic because the fitting is just right. So if you know the fitting form in various sizes and it can be adjustable, then you cut it first in muslin. If not, get somebody in your office or your atelier that has the same body type, and then you can cut it from there. Sometimes I get a blouse, put the muslin on top of that blouse so that I'll be able to get the proper color that I want. So it can be symmetrical only, no? So that's why I buy plenty of used flour sacks or katsa, no? Or sometimes I buy fabrics from Ukay Ukay and use that as my muslin. So muslin is that you'll be able to assure that the creation is fits totally. You can see here. This is usual is the excess fabric that when you make a garment as opposed to one that has been fitted well. Now I know some designers, the ill-fitting um, fabrication, no? Especially with evening wear like gowns. They are not really well done because they didn't do their muslin. So they wasted too much money in their fabric, assuming that it's pinya or silk, without doing the katsa or the muslin, which will cost probably only in the material 30 pesos, 50 pesos. And then they make it into the full fabric and it ruined it, and you lost 7,000, 8,000 pesos worth of material. So that's why the professional designer usually cut it first in muslin. All right. In many cases, students you directly use the fabric and try to manipulate, and it ruins the whole thing, and it doesn't work. So here you see how well the fitting is. Now from here, you see that the fitting is perfect. There's no puckering. The seams are correct. The contouring is correct. No, the proportion is correct. No, if you do this without the benefit of muslin, then you're probably going to struggle for your fitting. So the next is designing a collection, which is your prototyping or actualizing. So you have your muslin, and then your muslin you translate into your real gown. So sometimes the muslin doesn't translate really to the actual, but it should be maybe about 90% you're close as possible to the actual. So when you translate your muslin, remove the muslin from your mannequin, open it up, must or trace the pattern, and put it, overlay your what you call this, your fabric, no? You will be able to do that. No? This is an advanced course that you will learn in the future. So then you execute the garment with your team in your atelier, no? Which is good because a team will be able to critique how you construct the garment as you go along, and then your costing, and then your presentation, which can be in the runway, in the catalog. We will explain it all together. Costing is a separate subject that you will learn in fashion. So that ends. I will go into the next one, fashion research. Thank you.